How long does it take to get healthy? 5 days, 3 weeks, 2 months, a year? That's what we're going to talk about today. My name is Ryan Sanders. I'm the owner and lead coach of Project Fresh. And for over the last 13 years, I've helped people take control of their health, optimizing performance, and building sustainable habits that actually stick. As a certified strength and conditioning coach and also certified sports nutrition coach, I've worked with everyone from athletes to busy professionals, coaching them through the science and real world challenges of fitness and nutrition. Here I share the stories, lessons, and strategies that make long term wellness possible. So, I just got this question the other day. Ryan, I've got this relative that needs to lose 15 pounds in 30 days. They're going to go to a beach. Turned out it was a little bit longer than that as far as the timeline. But have you ever been in a scenario where all of a sudden you get invited to vacation, a wedding, or something where you'd like to look good in your clothes, feel good in your clothes, and perhaps there might be a pool or body of water that is involved in that scenario, that invitation, if you will. Has that ever happened to you? If the answer is yes, then you want to stick around for today's Monday Lunch Live. We do this every Wednesday, every Monday at 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And so today we're talking about how long does it take to be healthy? Now, first and foremost, we need to define what the definition of healthy is in general and for you. Now, health is really based on ability. I think a lot of people would probably define it as how they feel. Some would probably go as far as to define it on how they look. And some might even define it based on the fact of whether or not they can stay out of the doctor's office or not. If they're constantly going in for sickness, for challenges, ailments, other things that might be causing them to go visit the doctor. So we really need to get clear on what healthy is. I think ultimately, health isn't just your ability to function well. There is the physical component that's involved with health as well. Are you able to squat 80 to 100% of your body weight? Are you able to hang from a bar overhead for 30 to 60 seconds? Are you able to push really hard on a bike or on a treadmill and not have any injuries that are going to prevent you from moving quickly within a mile, mile and a half, and recovering your heart and your lungs, your cardiovascular, within a short period of time? Those are different fitness factors that play into your definition of health. Now, there is an adage from way back, probably well before the 20s even, where skinny equals healthy, mostly among women. I don't think it's so much the case for guys, but that is not true. Skinny does not equal healthy. In fact, if you have a mom or a grandma, an aunt, a great aunt, and you've seen how that particular individual has become very frail, maybe hunched over, maybe having hard times, maybe she's dealing with bone density issues or sarcopenia or simply atrophy of the muscle and having a hard time doing even daily tasks like opening up a jar, picking up your child or picking up a child or grandchild. Those are very common factors of aging, not aging well, more or less. And so strength is a factor in that, not just how well you eat. So we really need to get clear on that and define a very solid standard of health for that first step, okay, as far as getting healthy. We want to look at this not as a short term, I need to get ready for the beach, but also as a long term, I want to be ready for every beach thereafter, right? Okay, because if we are only in a mindset of getting ready for the next beach, all the times that we're not, we're just going to go back to old habits. And now we're stuck in the cycle. And eventually, if you're stuck in that cycle, things can get worse over time. Okay. Number two, account for where you're starting. What is your starting point? What is my current state of health? Am I already at 15% body fat? with a good amount of healthy muscle tissue in my arms, in my legs, in my torso. That all over 110 to 120% from the average. So 10 to 20% over the average, meaning you're in the above average percentile for muscle mass. The only way to do that is by looking at a body composition analysis. You can't do that on a regular scale. Is my cardiovascular and heart strong? Do I like how I look and how I feel and how I move? So we need to first and foremost account where we are. If you're answering no to any of those questions, then the idea is to figure out, okay, what am I at? I have 15 pounds of fat to lose. I was recently talking to someone who was saying they lost the idea of losing weight, and now they're in the mindset of releasing, meaning when you release it, you do not plan to come back for it later. Whereas if you lose something, let's say you lose your wallet, you lose your keys, you want to find it, right? So interesting perspective. Definitely get what he was saying. Maybe something as a little bonus piece here for you. If you find yourself losing your weight and then finding it later, maybe you want to change that psychology to releasing. Now, we've talked about many times here on this channel, and we'll get into number 3 here shortly, is we are looking at the byproducts as our focus point. We're working on what we can add to the mix. And as a result of adding muscle, we'll see fat burn and go away as a byproduct of that healthy habit that we've established in building muscle. Okay. So account for where you're at, get a good sober assessment of where you're at so we know where we need to go, and then establish those goals. We've done a ton of 3-week and 6-week and 12-week challenges, and those are great. They have their space in place. But ultimately, the idea is, again, to think long-term. Those are just for a kickstart to get you going. Where the real results come is over time, which leads us to our third and final point. It is about intensity and consistency, okay? Now, intensity is going to be on the factor of if you're doing once a week, one workout, maybe a few walks here and there, you're probably not going to see a lot of results, and you're not going to see the results you want anytime soon. However, on the flip side, if you're going 5 or 6 days a week and you're walking all those days, you probably see your results a lot faster, but you also have to account for maintenance, like stretching and yoga and recovery, letting the body relax. And you also have to really account for how well you eat. Okay, so can you keep that consistent long enough to get where you want to go? And then thereafter, have a plan for maintenance so that you keep your results. Because oftentimes we can go fast. I've got a lot of before and after photos to show you how quick you can see your results in 3 to 6 weeks. But can you sustain and maintain that body thereafter? Okay, so consistency plays into it at the end of the day. That's what really matters is, can I stay consistent with what I need to get where I want to go? And then again, stay consistent in my maintenance for those results that I've now found. Okay, and that's a really big one. So if you want to know how long it takes to get healthy, I didn't specifically give you a number. You heard me say we've seen people get really in great shape in 3 to 6 weeks. Programs I started with back in the day were 12 weeks long, 90 days. If anybody knows about the P90X program, that's where we started. That was great. We got in great shape. I actually it took me, I think, 4 months to get in great shape. I went from 215, maybe 222, I think I was, down to 188. And then I came back up into the low 200s, put some more muscle on, and then even put some more muscle on after that. So I think in that first couple of years, I put on like 20, 25 pounds of muscle because I didn't have a lot to begin with. And that was, first initially 4 months and then a couple of years. And now it's been, let's see, 20. So it's been about 14 years or so since I had that first initial full transformation. And it's still going, right now. The goal is more focused on technique and hitting a weightlifting goal than hitting a weight or body fat goal. The body fat goal will probably come after I hit the weight training goal. But ultimately, if you want to know how long it takes to be healthy, first you need to know number one, you need to find your health standard. What is health for you? Number two, you need to account for where you're starting from currently to get there. And number three, intensity and consistency really matters in this now. Can that gal that my friend was asking me about lose 15 pounds in 30 days? Maybe. It really depends on these things. Where is she starting from? What time and capacity does she have for her intensity and consistency? You know, if it's the last 15 pounds, probably not going to happen. If it's the first 15 pounds out of, say, 45 pounds, the likelihood is very high for those 15 pounds to go in 30 days. Now, is it 60 days instead? Well, now that 15 looks a lot better. If it's the last 15 pounds, if it's 90 days, even better. It sounds like it's next month or two for the vacation. So we're definitely in that 30 to 40-day window. So we'll see. We'll have to learn more and find out. But that's the whole point. And I think what we want to get to here is if you'd like to have a consultation and figure out how long it's going to take you to get in your ideal body, your ideal health, drop how long in the comments. Drop the 2 words, how long. You can draw, or you can add a question mark if you want into today's comments, and we'll connect with you and we'll set that up about 30 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes, not very long. Complimentary consultation to talk with you about where you're at, what we need to do, and how long we need to be consistent, as well as how intense we need to be in that period of time to get there. And we keep it very simple. It really isn't that hard. Really, it is, again, about consistency at the end of the day. So this is Ryan Sanders with Project Fresh. This is our Monday Lunch Live, where we do this every single Monday. We missed last week just because it was Memorial Day, so I hope you guys had a very great Memorial Day, remembering those who served our country. We have several of those who have passed in our family who served in multiple branches of the military, U.S. military. So if you have the same in your family, thank you so much for their service. If you have any active military in your family as well, thank you. Thank you to those in your family who are actively serving our country. That is no light thing. It's a sacrifice. You're giving your life and time to serve the country as a whole. So we appreciate it. And I hope, with that being said, you guys are having a great start to your summer. We're officially starting summer on the 20th. So that is a couple weeks from Friday. So we're getting very close to official summertime. So that being said, we'll be right back here next Monday, 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for our Monday Lunch Live. I hope you guys have